The price of Bitcoin is moving a few $1,000s to the upside in the last 24 hours, and this changes absolutely everything, guys. I'm going to let you know why that is, and it's not because of the 50 weekly moving average. Of course, the bulls did a good job to close above this 50 weekly moving average, and that is a good sign, no doubt, on the higher time frame. But it all changes on the lower time frame. I'm going to explain why this move to the upside as we are tackling this pivot low changes the absolute structure here, considering Elliott wave theory, that gives us a good chance that the movement to the upside has not finished. However, there is one local bearish chance to claim the lows here, all right? However, I've got good news for you. The probabilities in breaking down successfully are very, very low. So if we were to roll over here in the next coming days to tackle those lows at 99K, the chances of getting a big reversal are very, very high. And that will be explained in today's video update, guys. Now, if you are interested in trading on a platform that just requires an email and a password, BTCC or Bluffing is your way to go. Bluffing with that 20% cashback on your initial deposit, and BTCC with up to $10,000 in rewards, guys. The more you deposit and trade, the more rewards you're going to get airdropped, so you can increase your trading capital. That is with the links down below in the description here for Bluffing or BTCC. So let's dive in here through the price of Bitcoin. Technical analysis, keeping it simple. Higher time frame. Yes, we are forming still bullish market structure, still higher highs and higher lows. We would have to come down below $75,000 if we wanted to break this weekly or even daily uptrend momentum, this market structure, which is very, very strong. A lot of people skeptical about the 4-year cycle theory. We should be topping out in Q4. And we just got a little pump of a few $1,000s. And, you know, it's not something that we need to be extremely bullish about yet. But I can tell you already on the lower time frames that we are kind of invalidating a few bearish scenarios here. Now, the main reason why there is a good chance of the price not breaking down successfully from that $99,000, and there is a good chance to get above $116,000, has to do with the latest move to the downside from the 27th of October. Now, hear me out here. We had the movement to the downside, the bounce, and then this movement to the downside, forming a 3-wave structure. The moment that you start overlapping this pivot low is the moment that you need to start thinking there are many bullish scenarios that have priority. And you might think, well, why not a double 1-2? Because double 1-2s are very possible, right? Where you have a 1-2, 1-2, and then you just break down in a wave 3. Now, the main reason why this double 1-2 has low probability is because your second wave 1 is much larger than your first wave 1, and that decreases the probability. Usually when you build up multiple 1-2s, your second, third 1-2, okay, are much smaller than the previous one, than the first one, all right? Then you break down in a third wave and ultimately look for those 4-5s and continuation to the downside. So that is point number 1. Your second wave 1 is larger than your first wave 1. So a double 1-2 here decreases in probability. The second reason is your second wave 2 is extremely longer, not only in price action, but also in time from your first wave 2. So that also decreases the probability for a multiple 1-2. And you're already overlapping this pivot, which is extremely good. So you're invalidating the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 impulse to the downside. That is the main reason why everything's looking good for the price to actually continue the momentum to the upside. However, it's not all, you know, sunshine and blue skies here, because there is the bearish case scenario and we are coming into some very solid resistance zones. This is the scenario, what we're looking at here. The chance of rolling over in the next coming days to then claim the lows again, right? A contracting diagonal. Now, this contracting diagonal, of course, it can be a leading move to the downside, right? A motive wave where you do get that bounce, and ultimately later on throughout the end of the year, you roll over, because we would be labeling this as your wave 1, your wave 2, and then wave 3 breakdown. However, it fits better and nicely with the idea of the flat structure that we were talking about for many weeks right now, right? Where we have a zigzag down, a zigzag to the upside. This is what is disturbing about this cycle to be the top, this three-wave structure. Yes, there could be a way of finding a five-wave mover here where you got a very shallow 4 and then a 5, okay? So it's not all, extremely clear. But it does increase the probabilities based on this local move down that we are looking for a successful reversal, right? To go to higher prices. Now, this is the bearish case scenario. Now, going through the levels, we do have a naked point of control sitting at 107.5K. That's the price action from last Monday that left us that high volume node. So this 107, right, 106 to 108K zone is going to be a little bit of a struggle. It is also the value area low of this trading zone that we formed in October, right? We've got a big range, value area low right over here, which is sitting just, round about that naked point of control. This area is really, really crucial because to form a contracting diagonal, right, in a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, this would be the rejection zone. This would be the moment that you struggle. If you start crossing here and get all the way up to $111,000, you no longer will be forming a contracting diagonal, okay? You will be forming basically a channel. It'll be something completely different. So this is the local bearish case scenario that could top out at $107,000, $108,000 and roll back down to complete that fifth wave. As explained at the beginning of the video, the probabilities in breaking down successfully from this area are extremely low. They are seriously extremely low here to break down successfully. And the main reason why is what I explained. The double 1, 2 here has low probability. This scenario has low probability because your second wave 1 and 2 are extremely longer in price action and time than your first 1, 2. And you literally invalidated an impulse here. So we kind of almost got a confirmation three-wave structure here. And on the most bullish case scenario, which is the one that I want to talk about, which I have to say, guys, this local price action doesn't look too convincing, right? Doesn't look too convincing. This is the moment where we should be seeing in the next 1 to 2 days the price action really gaining some steam if this were to be a 1-2 and a 1-2 here. A double 1-2 right there. It is common for the second wave 1 to overlap above the first wave 1. However, it's not mandatory. It's not a must, okay? So you can form a second 1 and 2 that does not claim the first wave 1, and then you're already developing your wave 3 here, 4 and 5. All of this would be considered that wave 3, right? And then of course you look for that wave 4 and then the wave 5 with the chance of taking out the local highs here of $116,000. So let's give it a chance, right? I have to say there is a lot of resistance here at the 107, 108K zone, value area low, naked point of control from last Monday. It is the area literally of rejection, especially if you want to form that contracting diagonal, right? This scenario right over here, it's very much a possibility. So a lot of resistance, 107, 108K zone. That's the price where the price could chop around. And, something interesting that we can consider based on this scenario is that an ABC here is possible, right? Because we do have this move to the upside, creating this high. This could be a wave A. This correction could be a wave B, this movement down. And then this movement has your wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. If you form a little range throughout the next coming hours, right, between today and tomorrow potentially, without overlapping this pivot, and then you form another wave up here to claim those highs, claim that massive resistance, which is the naked point of control at 107.5, that could be a rejection scenario, okay? Because ultimately what we would be looking for here is an ABC right there. Your C wave forming a 5-wave structure in this range. So, and ultimately looking for that fourth wave, right? 3-wave structure to form that fourth wave in this contracting diagonal and then start rolling to the downside. So something that we want to be paying close attention, right? If we do not get more momentum in the next coming hours with volume increasing to give us the chance that this is a wave 1, 2, 1, 2, third wave really taking off here, right? Really getting to $110,000 and $111,000, which is possible with increasing volume. This is without a doubt a scenario that could happen. So what I would be remaining patient for here is see if we can get a consolidation here, a little bit of a channel-y situation to form that wave 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then maybe look for that double top fifth wave A, B, and C. This is literally what I would be spotting here, trying to spot if this is a three-wave corrective structure. If we do not get the steam coming in the next coming hours, we should be really ripping in the next, give or take 24 hours for this to consider, okay, with increasing volume, a wave 3 development. If we do not, and we start forming corrections, and then we claim the highs, that is going to be tricky. That is going to be the moment that the bulls are losing steam here. And I would be ultimately looking for that double top or either rejection from that naked point of control at 107.5K, which is ultimately the value area low of this trading zone. That is the fourth and fifth wave that I'm looking at here to literally confirm an ABC move, right? In a C wave, I would want to see 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then we're rolling over. That's the moment after a consolidation that I would say, okay, guys, we're probably forming an internal fourth wave. And this is losing steam, right? We're looking for the topping range, and I'm interested in double tops or the rejection from that naked point of control. So, the other scenario, which is the bullish one, look no further, right? We're looking for a massive move to the upside, literally in, a 5-wave move here, right? This would be the scenario where, internally, if we do see this as a wave, B wave, and then this being the flat to form your wave W, right? We got a flat here, large flat created between August and October, right? To form a wave W. We could be forming another flat. Why is this flat definitely possible? Okay. Because you have a 3-wave move to the upside created here in late October. And now we're literally confirming a 3-wave move to the downside. It's not an ultimate confirmation, but the probabilities of a double 1-2 here to break down successfully later on are very, very low. So, where are the opportunities lying? Well, obviously we were talking about a bounce happening very, very likely, claiming the lows or not. All right. And we haven't been claiming the lows. We suddenly bounced a few $1,000s, but ultimately it was like all of the signs were claim the lows and reversal or reverse from here based on this momentum that was explained yesterday, right? We are looking for a reversal regardless. The momentum to the upside in the last few days didn't look incredibly promising, but we're going to give it a chance right now, right? And in this scenario, what we're literally looking at, this was drawn, basically last week. We could consider these being the 1-2s, and now we are going to gain that steam to form this third wave. And that's looking for a flat to be formed. Zigzag up, 3-wave structure, 3-wave structure down. We have the chance here to literally form an impulse with the possibility of getting above $116,000 throughout the next coming days. And a C wave inside of a flat is usually pretty aggressive. They are usually fast, okay? They are much faster than the A wave of a flat or a B wave, right? You can see it right over here. 3-wave down, 3-wave up. The 5-wave impulse is brutally fast. So can we get a fast recovery? I'm going to give it a chance, guys. We need to give it a chance. The idea of longing in this zone, we talked about a possibility of, hey, if you want to go in with 1%, give a bit of room for stop loss. If you come back down and you're literally holding the lows here and that point of control of 24, 25 and reclaim it, you can always add 1-2%, keep it, to that position to make it a 3% position at the end. But you want to see that proof of support. Ultimately, a reversal from this zone was highly likely, as explained yesterday. Claiming the lows or without claiming the lows, guys, we literally, I would have preferred claiming the lows, as I mentioned yesterday. But the reversal was very much a very, very high probability scenario based on, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The double 1-2 has low probability. So now we need to see in between today and tomorrow, right, if we are going to get that momentum to the upside. because it could gain steam. We could be developing the third wave. Let's just say we're going to give it a chance here, right? We're going to give it a chance. And ultimately, this is the scenario that I would be looking at, okay? Forming a flat in your wave X. So we got a flat in wave W and forming another flat in your wave X. Of course, this could extend for a few more weeks where you still need to form your wave Y. That could be either a flat as well, or a zigzag down and then back up to all-time high, or ultimately forming a very strong, triangle formation here that we would be looking for that breakout to hit all-time high. So it's going to take several weeks to develop all of this, all right? But everything points out that for the moment, we are looking for the bounce to continue. Bearish scenario. You need to pay attention because we do have this bearish scenario, okay? We could have this local bearish scenario, which would only bring an insane opportunity down here below $99,000, guys. This is the ultimate opportunity zone where we do have that higher low from the 22nd of June and that point of control of 2024 and 2025. This would be, it would be an incredible, a very, very easy opportunity if this were to happen, right? Even though the price could really rally to above $116,000 in the next coming days, as explained, the flat structure is possible. So it's either, for me, a flat and we are heading up in the next coming days above $116,000, or we claim the lows one more time. We got lots of resistance here at 107 to 108K zone, and we're looking for that rollover and then come back down here. So it's either bounce from here or bounce from here to get above $116,000, guys. I don't have many other options. So we are looking for higher. We are looking for that reversal. We are looking for the price to move to higher levels, despite if we were to roll over from this zone to claim the lows again in the next coming days. It doesn't really matter, but the probabilities are looking for that momentum to happen. So the flat does really look very interesting, guys. 3-wave up, 3-wave down, confirming the 3-wave down as you get this overlap from this pivot. And the chances are looking pretty damn good. As explained on the 1 hourly time frame, what you need to be looking for here is momentum to continue. If you are looking for this to be a 1-2-1-2 and this is developing a third wave, we really need to start kicking off here in the next coming hours. A pump of an extra $3,000-$4,000. Get to 110. Get a really nice move up here to invalidate the contracting diagonal and high volume. You want volume to increase here with this pump of several $1,000s, and that's just going to be almost blue skies here for Bitcoin to get to $116,000 plus. Okay, there's I'll have no doubt here if we get that extra move of a few $1,000s with high volume. I would be very much confident that this would be, the scenario that is playing out, guys, the flat structure and looking to claim above $116,000. So what we want to see is follow through here, right? We want volume increasing and follow through. Continue pumping, breaking those resistance levels. If the price channels out here, right, or gets some kind of a corrective structure in this zone, that's the moment where it's not looking too great, because I would be labeling the chance here of this being a wave 1, a wave 2, wave 3. If you start channeling here, I will be in doubt of continuation to the upside. I will be looking for the local highs to be claimed as you're looking corrective in this zone. But ultimately, I would be looking for a failed breakout here, and then obviously look for the price to roll back down at the resistance zones, naked point of control, and value area low of that range of October, because I would be labeling this scenario as a wave A, wave B, and a wave C. Your C wave forming a 5-wave move, and then ultimately I would be looking for that contracting diagonal getting developed in the next coming days, okay, to form that 5th wave down. Okay, so it's going to be very interesting. If we do consolidate here, channel, then I would be looking for this pump to finish, all right? However, we're going to give it a chance. We're just moving up right now. And I would say that, the price could definitely go to higher levels. Maybe we get the volume increasing right now in the next coming hours. This ends up being a 1-2, 1-2, and the price starts moving up here with increasing volume, we're going to start labeling this as wave 3, then 4 and 5, and 4 and 5 later on, as we do have a double 1, 2, third wave, 4 and 5, 4 and 5. You know, we're looking to get above $116,000. So respect the pump unless it consolidates on the lower time frame as explained. All right, this will be easy to detect, guys. If you start channeling out here, then I'm just looking for one more leg up and then fail eventually, right? Hitting that 107 to 108K right zone where the price could reject and start rolling over, ending up in a 3-wave structure here. That is basically it, guys. I will be doing a live stream later on in about 4 or 5 hours from the upload of this video. Respect the pump. We're not hitting major resistance zones at the moment. I mean, this is a support resistance flip. So, you know, we need to respect the pump here. Volume might increase throughout the next coming hours. If we channel and then take out the highs, I would be looking for that rejection here because that would confirm a wave 4 internally for that ABC structure. Okay, so double tops, naked point of control, value area low. If we do channel, I would be looking for a local double top here scenario, right? If that were to be the case. As long as we continue the momentum up and we get volume increasing potentially, we're just looking for higher levels, right? That's basically it. And if we were to roll down throughout the next coming days, I mean, we'll be explaining this throughout the live streams and video updates. Man, this movement down to come and claim that 22nd of June higher low and point of control of the range to complete that contracting diagonal, that's the moment of exhaustion, reclaim of the levels, opportunity zone, because this would be the ultimate big reversal that I see potentially happening throughout the end of November, entering into December, right? The big move. Even though the big move could happen right now, right? It could still definitely happen based on that flat structure that has been explained, right? And throughout the last few days, this is very much a possibility. Very much a possibility. We're just already developing the third wave, right? This was drawn a few days ago. So this would be this zone right over here with the double 1, 2s if we were to continue to the upside here, right? With high volume. You know, C waves in a flat are very fast. So I would give it a possibility, all right? Much love to everybody. Thank you very much for joining. I'll be doing a live stream going a little bit more technical and taking a look at some altcoins, all right? Because there are some altcoin opportunities. Make sure to subscribe. I'll be going live later on. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.